In tonight's cover story, a life-saving effort in the north suburbs. Public agencies fighting the opioid crisis are focused on making overdose treatments more accessible. Narcan is being placed in Illinois' libraries, airports, and community centers.
It's also traveling the streets of Evanston. WGN's Courtney Spinelli shares how a traffic stop led to an unlikely partnership.
We're gonna give you some Narcan.
On the vests of Evanston police officers are 2 doses of a tool they hope they won't have to use. Small in size, significant in impact, and already showing its value. Commander Scott Safier says the conversation about a Narcan program started several years back. It was a police chaplain who advocated for equipping staff with the medicine, also known as naloxone, used to reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. He also donated the first doses, but how the program finally came to fruition is rather unconventional.
About 1.5 years ago, I conducted a traffic stop while working in my role in the traffic unit.
I was completely at fault. He wasn't wrong to pull me over.
Luana Leinhart admits she was running late, acting out of frustration, and knew she needed to make it right. So she paid her speeding ticket and sent a card to Safier about 1.5 weeks later, a mix of an apology, a thank you, and an idea for a new partnership.
As rude as I was to Scott, he was just nothing but graceful and kind and professional throughout the encounter.
Leinhart was working for a community-based substance use prevention and treatment center at the time. The pair developed a friendship, a plan, and a curriculum, and she came out 8 times to train all sworn and civilian staff at EPD on how to use Narcan.
You could have someone come to our lobby, you could have someone being held in custody that could suffer the effects of an overdose.
Safier says the training is crucial because there are times officers may arrive before medics at a scene, but also because not all overdoses come in as medical calls.
You have the ability to provide that help. It's another tool on your tool belt.
EPD officers have revived 5 people with Narcan since the program launched about 6 months ago. The first time just 10 days after. 3 of those initially came in as an overdose. The others check well-being and disturbance calls.
It's awesome that these organizations and these police departments are getting involved.
Andrew Dehan works in the outreach sector with an organization similar to some Evanston police partner with to offer wraparound services to those who want it. But he also understands all of this through a much different lens.
Narcan saved my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Narcan. I even have the chemical element tattooed on me.
Dehan now runs the Night Ministry's substance use program in Chicago. He helps meet people where they're at, both figuratively and literally, some of them on the streets he once called home. Dehan and Leinhart agree it's about asking people what they need so they can provide options and resources.
Most people want to do the right thing. They just need the tools and the know-how. They just need to be empowered to do that.
It's definitely fiction when people believe that, these people are giving up on themselves. That's not true at all.
Dehan works with area hospitals and groups to educate on harm reduction and how to administer Narcan. He's turning pain into purpose.
It took me 20 years to get to this point. 20 years, I missed 2 decades of my life.
He has an opportunity now to help give others a second chance, like a man at a gas station in Elmwood did for him when he overdosed. 4 years ago, the last time he used, after the stranger he only knows as someone who drove a pickup truck saved his life.
I owe him everything, right? And he didn't know me. He didn't know who I was. He didn't even, he just knew somebody needed help, And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be affecting all these lives, you know what I mean? So you see it branch off.
Evanston police hope their new partnership will give those who need them this same chance.
This was just so wonderful and so unexpected, and just a great testimony to, something. Good things can come out of bad things, just if we extend each other a little grace.
It's really hard to quantify whose life was truly saved or whose was not, but we know that we're having an impact no matter what, and we know that that impact goes beyond the individual.
In Evanston, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
2 branches of the Evanston Public Library are official Narcan dispensing locations. They can give out free doses with no questions asked. We have more information on our website, WGNTV.com.